Today we're talking about the importance of having a sales system in place. Leigh, you've got over 30 years experience in the sales game. How important is it for organisations to have a sales system in place?
Well, Michael, as you say, 30 years. I started all this way back in like 1985. I didn't know much about sales in those days. We were actually trying to help Telecom Australia become more commercial. So we knew that you needed something to do with selling, something to do with customers, and people didn't automatically walk through the door. These days, having spent 30 years working with everyone from McDonald's to cash converters to BSI, British Standards Institute, realise that sales fixes everything. That when you've got revenue, when you've got cash flow, you've got time to do things. But when you don't have revenue and don't have cash flow, you're in trouble. And what we know is our education system, in the vast majority of cases, you spend probably 1 to 5 minutes in your whole education learning anything about the process of discovering customer needs, presenting your solution, presenting your product, doing it in a way that a customer says, that sounds like a great idea, negotiation, maximising a margin, but at the same time maximising value. None of those things are taught in our traditional education system, and yet we throw people into real estate or financial planning or pretty much any business, and we think that they're going to sell, and it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, and how often do we find it in a lot of our conversations with clients is, you know, kids coming out of uni and they've got these degrees, but then when it comes to the simple things like negotiation, they really fall over. So back to the sales system. So why is it so important for businesses to have?
Well, as Deming said, with total quality management, 94% of problems are due to the system, 6% are due to the people. So if you don't have good revenue, don't have good cash flow, then you've got 94% chance that it's a revenue, cash flow, sales system problem that is at fault. And not only that, what we know from the research is that when people are involved in sales, the number one thing they appreciate most is being given and being trained in a sales system and a sales playbook. Where do I start? What's the first thing I say and do? And what's the journey I go on? And where am I at any point in that journey to know where I should be and what kind of questions I should be asking? When should I be attempting to close or not close? How much time should I be spending asking questions? I've literally just come back from India, Japan, Malaysia, working with people across Asia. The number one thing that managers say they appreciate most is, Leigh, you're teaching our people how to spend more time asking the right questions rather than asking one question, trying to ram a solution down a customer's throat, getting to price, arguing over price, and then not only not necessarily giving the customer the right solution, but then selling at way too cheap a margin because they're basically giving it away. And I say to people, you're not selling a pair of thongs, you're not selling a pair of shorts or a carpet or even a piece of jewellery. In most cases, when you're selling business to business, you're selling a solution, you're selling a promise, which actually means you need to truly understand the customer's problems, needs, present situation. Literally only just last week, I was saying to you before, one of the young guys we're working with, one of the local hotels in terms of hospitality, he's gone, Leigh, based on what you've taught me around sales system, we're now having far better conversations with our guests, finding out what their needs are, and off the back of that, we're able to offer better solutions, premium solutions, and so we're upselling and we're cross-selling, and our guests are so much happier, but we're getting more revenue. Everybody's winning. Why? Because we're giving them a system rather than they just make up whatever they think's a good idea. And you can be pretty certain if they're just making it up, it's not going to be the best practice.
And so too often, isn't it, the salespeople get stuck into the grind of doing the business, but they don't step back and actually have a look at themselves and how they can improve. And we're leaving stuff on the table, aren't we? Because they're not following the system.
Invariably, mate. Invariably, people leave money on the table because they are not trained in the journey to truly understand not only customer needs, but how to understand the value the customer wants and then selling a solution on value rather than on price. And, that's the enemy. We say, selling on price is the enemy of profitable, healthy businesses.
Yeah. So there you go. Sales systems, absolutely critical to have it in place. Have you got a sales system in place that your team are following? Are the guys drilled in practicing how you should be approaching your customers effectively? Ask yourself that question. You can check us out at www.futureinstitute.edu.au. Check out the Sales and Institute Academy.